Learn this now. In this question, you will learn about few circle theorems needed for your exam. Find angle PTR and PRS. So we're going to take this one after the other. Angle PTR, so identify it. PTR, so this is the angle we are asked to find. That's the angle we are looking for, PTR. Okay, so let's look at this diagram closely and identify the theorem that would help us in solving this question. So the very first one I can identify here is, can you see this angle 33 degrees? That's an angle formed on the circumference. It is formed on the circumference of this circle. The root of this angle is some P and T. You know, the line that formed that angle, that's what I'm calling the root. Which you can see. Good. That's the line that formed that angle. And this is the arc that subtended that angle. This is the arc that subtended the angle. Alright. Now let's pay attention to other information in this question. Consider this angle here too. This is an angle formed on the circumference of the circle. The root of this angle is from this same root. Remember this 33 degrees, add its root as P and T, and this is the arc that subtended it. This same arc subtended this angle on the circumference. If I call this theta now, this blue arc subtended theta on the circumference. The same arc PT subtends this angle 33 degrees on the circumference. So when you have two angles on the circumference that have the same root and have the same arc, then you say the two angles are equal to each other. Theta is equal to 33 degrees. Reason is angles in the same segment. In the same segment. Angles in the same segment. They are equal to each other. So now I've got this theta to be 33 degrees. Okay, so let's continue to pay attention to this. The question says that PT is a diameter. So, RT, this is R down to T is a diameter. And when you have a diameter in the circle, then you begin to think of semicircle. You know, half of a circle, that's a semicircle. So I have a semicircle here. I also have a semicircle on the other side here. Now, that brings me to one of the circle theorem. Whenever you have a diameter, just think of angles in a semicircle. So you need to identify that angle. Look at this angle formed here. This angle formed here will be at 90 degrees. Why? The root of this angle, the root is coming from the diameter, R and T. R and T. So this angle here is at 90 degrees. You can see the line is coming from the diameter, and so we say this is an angle in a semicircle. Angles in a semicircle is at 90 degrees. So this angle RPT will be at 90 degrees. RPT will be at 90 degrees. So angle RPT is equals to 90 degrees. And the reason is angle in a semicircle. So now that we have this as 90 degrees and we have theta as 33 degrees, we can then find the main question, what we are asked to do. What we are asked to do is to find angle PTR. Let's call that alpha, for instance. Now consider triangle PRT. PRT, that's a triangle, and a right angle triangle for that matter. So the sum of angles in a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Yes, so let's sum up all of that together. So we have 90 plus alpha plus 33 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. And your reason is sum of angles in a triangle, So let's add up all of this together. I have my alpha is equals to 180 minus 19 minus 33. Alpha equals to 57 degrees. So we can say that angle BTR is equals to 57 degrees. Let's get back to the diagram. I hope you understood that. Alright. Now the next question is find angle PRS. Find angle PRS. PRS. That's all of this angle here. All this angle is PRS. So let's call this small angle here. Let's call it beta, so that we can say angle PRS will just be theta plus beta. Remember, we've already found theta to be 33 degrees. Alright. Now, beta is an angle formed on the circumference of the circle, and the root of beta is T and S. Look at this. This is angle beta, T and S. This is the arc that subtended that beta on the circumference. I hope you can see that arc. Good. There is an angle that shares the same root at the center. Look at this angle here, 77 degrees. It has the same root as this angle beta. The root of this angle at the center is T and also S. They also share the same arc. And so that brings me to the theorem that says that the angle at the center will be twice the angle on the circumference. For this theorem, you need to have an angle at the center and then an angle on the circumference. The two of them will have the same arc that subtends them. That's when you can apply this theorem. So let's find beta now. We say 77 degrees. 76 degrees is equals to 2 times beta. And the reason is angle at the center is twice angle on the circumference. So here 76 over 2 is equals to beta, and beta is 38 degrees. So therefore angle angle PRS, which is equals to theta plus beta. We got theta as 33 degrees. 33 plus 38, and this is going to give us 71 degrees. And so that's the value of PRS. Do not forget to click on the subscribe button, follow, like, leave your comments for more videos. Let's take this channel to the next level.